What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. And today I want to break down a piece of copy for you. It's going to be Todd Brown's leaked sales letter. And the inspiration for today's video actually comes from my recent visit to Copy Chief Live in Tampa, which was a really cool event. And I got to meet a lot of folks. I got to meet you from the channel. It was really cool to see how many people there actually knew what the Copy Squad was and follow the content and things like that. And one of the early comments or regular comments that I was getting from folks went a little bit like, hey, love the channel, loved your sales letter breakdowns, loved your earlier stuff, which I've basically monetized at this point. You kind of have to join the Copy Squad inner circle to get access to my sales letter breakdowns. But I kind of felt a little bit guilty because everyone kept saying, man, I used to love when you do the sales letter breakdown. So I'm gonna do a little quick one right quick. We'll do a quick one for you. And another thing that was really cool was in meeting you and kind of getting to know you. This was like the first time where I was in a room and someone said, hey, and they knew my name and came up and wanted to talk to me. So I thought that was really cool. And I kind of want to speak to you directly, because if you came up to me and, you shared about yourself, you told me about like your copywriting ambitions, your goals. You explained to me about like your dreams and your plans. And you also said nice things about the content, tell me you're a fan, things like that. And then you also asked me for advice. So to you, I want to say, if you do the things that we discussed, if you just simply immerse yourself into the practice, into the craft, okay, if you keep your head down, if you focus, and practice regularly, and I think this is a really important point, we will see each other again. I think that's something that I want to happen, and I want this not to be like a one-time thing where, we meet and we exchange a couple like pleasantries, and then, you disappear off, and then you kind of flounder about, or you don't really find your way or anything like that. I really do believe that if you just crank in the practice day after day, and again, immerse yourself, you don't cut corners, be patient, but at the same time, urgent in your work ethic. I think if you do that, we're going to definitely bump into each other again, because copywriting is a small pond, and it's the people that I saw the same faces this year at Copy Chief Live as I saw last year, and some new ones. And it was great meeting you. And I do hope that this is something that you pursue and you succeed. Like, I'm on your side and I'm rooting for you. So that's my advice. And wherever you need to go to make that happen, I think that's key, is you find a way to immerse yourself. And if that's at Baltimore, personally, I'm not a huge fan of Baltimore, but I do think there's a lot of great opportunity and great companies there. I'm probably going to endorse Pete and Evaldo's team at Agora Financial with Paradigm Press. If I had to pick one all day, I would say go there. Evaldo's the person that taught me when I was there. So I think it works, right? He knows what he's doing, and he taught me well. So if you could go get that same kind of education, great. I think with the recent launch that I did at Wealth Press, we were able to clear, right now it's estimated, I'll know in about an hour or two, about 800 grand in a couple days. And, the record to beat was 330K. So we really pushed past that. So it was a big deal for me and the company. So I think I'll have now some breathing room to begin hiring my own copy squad. That's kind of the ultimate goal, is a physical copy squad, and probably based out of Jacksonville, Florida, or maybe even Boca down here with me. So that's just updates, news. And again, we're at minute 4. So I've kind of gone way over the time, but yeah, again, it was great meeting you. I hope to see you again one day. Just practice, and we will bump into each other again. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into the reason that we are here, which is do a screen share, and we're going to break down some copy. Michael says, sup. Dan Carroll says, I'm wondering who is the most successful direct response copywriter you've ever met. Evaldo, right there. Hold on. Let me share this screen. I don't want to share it just yet. How do I do this? Okay, yeah, so show this. Okay, yeah. I'm wondering who is the most successful direct response copywriter you've ever met. The answer is Evaldo. Seriously love this letter. Have went through it before, but jacked to see you go through this. Great, yeah. No, cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. So I pointed out an email to someone at the Copy Chief Live event. I was like, we're talking about new, easy, safe, and big. I'm like, it's everywhere. I said there was one email that it was like almost to the T. And I almost named this video, "Did Todd Brown Steal My Secrets?" And here's a tip. Anytime you see a headline that ends with a question mark, the answer is always no. But that was going to be like, did Todd Brown steal my secrets? And because it's that email leading to this is like new, easy, safe, and big. And then this sales letter itself actually is very, very much like that too. I don't know if he got it from me or if he's just using like copywriting, basics. But did you use Nesby for the 800K campaign? Bro, of course. Are you kidding? Nesby is the language of copywriting. There's 4 emotions, and I'll show you. One of the things I'd like to do is once I figure out hard numbers on, because we had a kind of a 3-day hot list build, and once I find out the numbers, because we had a front end sale tripwire offer that brought in, I want to say about 13K, about 620 names, and once I figure out that's my estimate. When I know those numbers for sure, I kind of want to break down the sales funnel for you guys and just kind of give you like a picture, like a step-by-step of how we built that and how I was able to do that. And what's really great and a huge relief for me is that I did this outside of Agora. Nobody can take this from me. There was no copy chief. There was no oversight. It was me and an internal list that I think all the lists combined doesn't equal like the size of one of Agora's lists. So this is like a hater-proof accomplishment for me. There's no way that anyone can talk junk about this. So I'm really happy to kind of start sharing that with you and what we were able to do with that team. So I'll go ahead and we're going to screen share. Bam. Nope, wrong. Bam. Okay, so this is the letter, right? And how do I hide that? All right, so here it is. I forgot to keep the Facebook advertisement that brought me here. I clicked it and then I opened a new window and then I closed out Facebook, so I don't have it. I would like to have gone back and looked at the Facebook ad, but I knew where I was going because I've seen this before. So what we'll do is we'll open up my swipe file and we will scroll to Todd Brown of all those calls. Here we go. And this is the PDF. Now I'll show you a little trick I use. I'll get rid of this. Hold on a second. There's comments here. So one of the tricks I use to kind of do this is I used screen capture, which is a Google thingy here. So you see here, it's a little extension, full page screen capture. So now I can mark this up. The reason I did it like that is because what I usually do is I try to print a letter. Some of them, depending on how they're like coded, come out wonky looking. So it came out, where's the preview? Any day now. Come on, Google, making me look silly. So see how it's kind of like the formatting is gone. So if that happens, it's not very good for breaking it down. It doesn't give me a good visual. So what I do instead is I just do that full page screen capture. I get this. This might be a little bit difficult because it has we have background stuff going on here that might interfere with the markups, but we're gonna wing it, right? Okay, so, and this is in the spirit of all the folks who came up to me at Copy Chief and said, I loved when you used to break down sales letters. No, I don't do that no more for free. So I'm gonna do that for you guys today. Okay, so one of the things that we generally do is we sort of look at the big 4 U's of urgent, useful, ultra specific, unique. Okay, and then, so here's like, then I got another one over here, and this is from Clayton Makepeace. Grab eyeballs, expand, headline, insert credibility, and then bribe to read this. I can already tell it's kind of hard to read with the background noise a little bit. But yeah, so we'll start with urgent, useful, ultra specific, and unique. This generally applies to the headline, and this is most useful, I think, in analyzing front ends. Like you don't really need to go, because the back end where you've already got customer and you're selling them a second product or something like that, you don't really need to go like, you can usually lean heavily on your relationship and credibility. So let's say this is for a front end because it's on a Facebook ad. This might be my first engagement with Todd Brown. I'm not sure, maybe he's targeting people on his list because I am also on his list, so maybe that's happening. But and then the other thing we definitely need to talk about, and that's because, all right, so the 4 emotions, right? So if you know anything about me, these are my 4 emotions, which you can't read on this very well. New, easy, safe, big. Okay, people have asked me, do I color code this stuff? Yeah. So you're going to see the big 4 emotions are going to be in this green color. So it's new and only, and man, Todd hammers the only emotion like crazy in this one. I want to show you that in a minute. Easy, and anybody can do this. Safe and predictable, and then big and fast. Okay, so these are your 4 emotions. So we'll start with the 4 U's here. Never meant for public viewing. Okay. Private internal copywriting recordings from Agora Financial leaked. Listen to what the highest paid copywriter in Agora Financial history tells his team to produce 100 million in sales. So I think if we were going to use the 4 U's here, which I think we can use the big 4 emotions better, but I'll go ahead and just kind of tie it to the 4 U's just for it. There's nothing really urgent here saying you need to do this now, but I think it is very unique, and unique and only are kind of going to be like step cousins a little bit here, where not meant for the public, right? So that's unique in that you've not had this before. And that's exactly what the only emotion is kind of tethered to. So what I think I'll do is I wrote the 4 U's over there because that's usually how we do it. But man, this applies so hardcore to new, easy, safe, and big that we're going to stick to this actually. So this is only, all right, private, only, internal is another way to say only, copywriting recordings from Agora Financial. Okay, now this here is a cred play. All right, leaked. So just the word leaked implies secret knowledge. So again, we got only 3 times there in the first couple lines. And I've seen people kind of like using this copy. Each bar should kind of have like its own sort of purpose. And I've seen people just throw random things in the eyebrow copy, which is up here. And I've seen people throw things in the deck copy that's random. But what I've seen be the most successful in my own sales letters and sales letters like this is you generally have some sort of urgency, or like, you want to hit the emotions, and like this is a unique element thing that's not ever been available before. Or you can hit the urgency at the top of the eyebrow. I see that very commonly used, and it works just fine. Then down here in the deck copy, all right, listen to what the highest paid Agora, all right. So if we were going to say, so oftentimes I mix cred and safety. So Agora Financial, that's safe, right? So check this out. Highest paid copywriter, that's cred/safety in Agora Financial history, all right? That's safety and credibility there. So again, we'll stick with the orange for straight credibility because that's what this is, more than proving safety. Highest paid copywriter, this is all cred. Tells his copy team to produce 100 million in sales. So there's kind of like your useful benefit, right? And that's also your U for useful. So we've got, useful checked off. Unique, yes. And the way it's unique is, well, it's unique just by the fact that you can't find it anywhere else. Okay, there's something, I got a question here that I really want to address now that I've seen it. So Rodney says, Nesby's life. Thanks, Rodney. Michael says, life goal, work with you someday. It's very doable. Yeah, absolutely. Especially now that I'm in a position where I can maybe hire people and start building the Copy Squad in physical location. J Negative, just bought your book. So far, so good. Thank you very much. KyleTheWriter.com/book if you want to check out my book called Take Their Money. This is the question: how to find sales letters. Bro, I clicked a Facebook ad to find this sales letter. It's not hard to find sales letters. That question comes up on every video. Like, they are everywhere you look is every bar on the side of YouTube, every Facebook ad. They are taking you to a sales promotion, right? So like, this question drives me bonkers. You can't avoid sales letters. I don't know how people have so much trouble finding sales letters. He says, is this the ad? I don't think I can click it with this program. It's just popping up. So Dan, I think that would be John Benson. I don't know what he's talking about. I think maybe he's talking about who the most successful direct response copywriter you've ever met. Well, not me, man. I don't know who John Benson is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the lead here. And I guess what I really want to hammer home is there's going to be a lot of new, easy, safe, and big in this one. And also, I love how short and concise this sales letter is. Most people who are reading this probably know what's happening and already kind of want what he's offering here. So the point of the orange over here, when we're breaking down sales letters, this make piece checklist, is to basically take us out of the 4 U's. The 4 U's are like your headline piece, right? And then the make piece checklist. The make piece checklist is actually 20 points in total, but I only go to 4 because it helps me figure out in my brain how to go from headline to copy. I was doing, we did our Copy Squad conference call on Tuesday, and I was breaking down a submission from a reader, and the guy went from like pattern interrupt to completely changing subjects. He's like, hey, check this out. Okay, I'll tell you about that later, but now I want to give you my pitch. And I think what's really important is you look at these first 4 steps in the make piece checklist, they kind of give you like a flow for what you want to do here. So Brian Tate TV, John Benson created the VSL, LOL. Maybe I missed something there. Met Kyle in person, dude oozes with great copy knowledge. His promo product was awesome. I'm going to start reading these. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So yeah, this make piece checklist helps me in my brain kind of slowly insert, like it can begin that conversation into the letter instead of just like being like wildly, okay, here's a great attention grabbing headline. Now what? So now what? So here's how Todd Brown does it. If Todd Brown wrote this, I actually don't know who wrote it. Maybe somebody else wrote it, right? Maybe Evaldo wrote it because it's for his thing. But let's see. Okay, I got to stop reading these comments. Can I turn these off for a second? Because I'm getting so distracted. I'll show this one. Dang. Gabriel says, if this is not your sales letter, how do you know it's successful? Damn, I got to stop answering questions. All right, I'm going to answer these next 2 and I'm done. 1, it's from a reputable source, Todd Brown, and it's selling a product that I know is in demand just because of what it is and who is behind it. And 2, it's on Facebook, and I've seen it a couple times now. And if it wasn't successful, Todd Brown's smart enough to pull it down or promote something else. I just saw it 5 minutes ago, and I've been seeing it a lot. So one of the keys is it costs money to run these ads. And if someone's paying money, then it must be converting above cost, or he can back it out with back-end sales, because this guy, Todd Brown, is smart enough to have another thing to go if this one is not profitable. So you've got to know a little bit about like the bigger picture, and you can infer that. Mike says, this is a fish. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you how you can make an additional $10,000 per month, pension style VSLs. It's hilarious. I'm gonna turn off comments, so I keep reading them every time they pop up. Here we go, they're gone. And I will circle back in just a second. So let's get into the actual copy here. All right, from the desk of Todd Brown. This is crazy. These recordings aren't meant to be heard by the public, okay? So right out of the gate, he's expanding the headline, right? So this is what number 2 is, expand HL. So we've got leaked, what he tells, we've got copywriting recordings at the top here, right? He says copywriting recordings are leaked. So what's he do? He immediately expands upon the headline. He doesn't just jump into a random pattern interrupt. And the way he does that is he starts with this is crazy. That's kind of like a little bit of a pattern interrupt maybe. It's not like that's not a crazy pattern interrupt. This is crazy. Just like an emotional sort of thing like, wow, can't believe this. Because they're not only filled with profanity, inside jokes, and personal banter, they're also filled with new copywriting secrets working like crazy right now. Okay, so we got new right there. New techniques you won't hear anywhere else. So remember what we say, news alter ego is only, because if you can establish that something is new and then double down by saying this is the only place that you can get it, it becomes proof in itself that it is new, because you can't get it anywhere else, so it must be new. He's done a great job of piling the alter egos on top of each other right away. And he's breaking out with new, which is the most important emotion. Otherwise, you can commoditize this information and say, I can find it cheaper somewhere else. No, he's saying you cannot get this anywhere. It's brand new. It's breaking. He's going to hammer that throughout this whole letter. I want to say something else too. What we have here is we have copywriting secrets working like crazy right now. So he's kind of leading into establishing the mechanism. All right. So, and this is too vague. I don't think I want to label it here, but what we're looking for is a mechanism and a big promise. So I'm not sure. I haven't really studied this one. I kind of just scrolled through it, but I think this is kind of going to be our big promise, which is these secrets are working like crazy. So this is kind of like your benefit. So the mechanism, and this is what we're going to do, the recordings. Get rid of that. I saw this in the Copy Squad conference call on Tuesday as well with one of my submissions. I saw someone introduce a mechanism and be like, they're called, they're called space cadet checks, and they'll make you rich anyway, and then they kind of move on. So one of the things that Todd's doing here that everyone should do is whenever you introduce a mechanism or you introduce a new concept, you cannot just pivot and start moving on. You've got to tease. So once you introduce something, you tease, okay? So you tease the mechanism. So they aren't meant to be heard by public. What is inside of them? So whenever you tease something, you don't just explain what it is. You kind of give like properties of it, right? So if you've ever watched some, well, shit, I don't know if you don't have the, there's recordings that I've done where breaking down a promo, like you'll see it's a secret society, it's a secret location or secret warehouse where, something's being done here. And the biggest names in the industry are murmuring about it. And it's surrounded by armed guards and a barbed wire fence. If you just name and talk about properties, specific properties, gotta be specific, you can build that intrigue about what is it. The specificity builds the intrigue without actually just revealing what it is. He doesn't just say, because they talk about headlines, they talk about leads, they talk about offers. That will kill the intrigue. That's not great. This is a tease that just mentions properties, specific properties, okay? So let's say, I'm actually get rid of this. So that's how you do a tease. You mention specific properties that don't give away any real value. All right. They're also filled with new copywriting secrets working like crazy right now. You won't hear anywhere else. Okay. So again, more properties about it. This is a perfect example. This is more teasing. You won't hear anywhere else. They are recordings of the highest paid copywriter in Agora financial history coaching his team through his method for cranking out multi-million-dollar promotions. Okay. So again, it's more teasing. He doesn't say what the secrets are. He doesn't say what they're talking about. He just says his method. All right, so we kind of have a little bit more of another mechanism here. And we don't know this early on which one's going to be the mechanism that's like the one thread that drives through the whole promo. We'll kind of figure that out here in just a second. But let's kind of look back to green here. Highest paid copywriter, right? So that is, I'm actually going to stick with Cred. So Cred is like a cousin of Safety in Agora financial history. And he's coaching him through his method of multi-million-dollar promos. So this looks like the mechanism delivering the big promise a little bit here. And we're kind of still looking for that hardcore, but I think all this is sort of basically the recordings equals better copy. We'll look for something a little more literal, or we'll come back to this and kind of label it. Even if you consider yourself a copywriting pro, having read all the books, gone through all the courses, studied the best stuff out here, I can assure you, you don't know what top dog copywriting genius is sharing on these recordings. Okay, so look at this. Top dog genius. Okay, and this is really good. This is all only. Okay, this is all new and only. Because he's even saying you can't get this anywhere else. There's no way, no matter what you've done, no matter what you've seen, no matter what you've read, you haven't been able to get this before. So notice, okay, we're only a couple lines deep. This is how I break down sales letters. It can take some time. All right, so notice that it's just about private, not for public. The highest paid guy. It's new copywriting secrets, new techniques. You won't hear them anywhere else. No matter what you've done or what you've heard, this top dog genius has been doing things that'll blow your mind, all right? His name is Evaldo. What this dude earned last year alone in royalties in his campaign, far, far more than what most entrepreneurs see in a lifetime. So what we have here is, again, a layering of the big four emotion and their alter ego, because more than you see in a lifetime, right? So that's big, but he earned last year. That's fast. So we're compressing a lifetime of income into 1 year. So we've got big and fast right there. So the yellow is for cred, right? I've said that this is more of a cred thing than a safety thing, but cred and safety are kind of two sides of the same coin. The cred implies safety and builds that element of protected safetiness. So we've got new only. We've got basically safe and predictable, all right? Because he says he's making $1 million promotions, right? So we've got new only. And then every time you see, yellow or orange, this is safe. It's not necessarily how it usually goes. It's more like more like numerical things like it's 98% effective or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a vague one. But what we're looking for still is easy anybody, right? We got new and only, safe, and big and fast. Now, technically, I think safe probably is the second most important emotion, and I can talk about that more at length. But Nesby is my mnemonic device, so easy always goes second in the lineup just because it's easier to remember. New, easy, safe, and big than new, safe, easy, big. Doesn't work as well. So watch what happens. There's just no denying of all those copywriting method is absolutely killing it today. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting down into, and what he's done here is he's kind of expanded. He introduced the mechanism here. Recordings, they have secrets. The secrets include this method. His method is killing it today. So I'm thinking we're drilling down to the true mechanism of the copywriting method is the thing that you actually want to receive. And we're still kind of learning. He's developing it slowly, and it feels less like a pitch, right? And that's kind of the amazing thing. Like we're still expanding upon the headline, where we go from recordings to what we're actually selling, which I'm pretty certain is going to be the method, right? Some sort of, we're going to link it together like that. So let's keep going. His copy, all right. His copy approach is disrupting the entire copywriting industry like nothing we've ever seen before. It's breaking records left and right. So right here, we've got, oh my God, you got all of them. So look, so this is safety and credibility, right? Because we've got records, right? There's your credibility right there. When you see words like disrupting, that is new. We've never seen anything like it before, okay? So that's new. It's both new. Breaking records left and right. So if it's breaking records, then it's big. But it also seems, again, like left and right, it just keeps working. So it's safe, all right? You see how all that stuff happens in this box. New, easy, safe, and big. People ask me, do you just use new, easy, safe, and big in like the lead or in just the headline? Dude, look at the freaking every single line, okay? People, someone printed out their copy and handed it to me at Copy Chief Live, and I was like, I could take an entire box of a section of their copy. I'd draw a box around it and say, just delete this, delete all of it, because none of it has new, safe, new, easy, or safe or big. It's just telling me information. It's in every single line of copy, okay? So someone else also asked me, how do I know this is successful? Look at it, read it. Does it compel you? Does it have new, easy, safe, and big in there? Like that's also another signature of something like that. So coming back up to the top here, the reason I've been using orange, in case anyone was wondering, for credibility is because it's part of my Clayton Makepeace checklist. When I say my Clayton Makepeace checklist, it's part of the Clayton Makepeace checklist, and it goes early on, right? See creds right here, number 3. So I'm making that very clear because these first 4 of his 20-point checklist are how I transition from a headline. This is my guideline for how I would transition from a headline into what I'm actually selling. And notice how it has just been credibility, like nonstop, as we get closer and closer to the drill down of the mechanism. All right. Now, this is what I wanted. I'm really excited for this next part. Crazy thing, English isn't even his first language. Okay. So this is a coupling of easy anybody. And I think a lot of it might be more, you know what, we might want to, yeah, this whole section is going to be easy anybody. But what you'll see as he explains is, you know, it's like you don't even need to be able to speak English to write $1 million copy. Like what a common objection, because so many copywriters are trying to come from international backgrounds. But so now we've come full circle. New, easy, safe, and big has appeared in the first couple lines and had like entire swaths, sections of copy dedicated to just outlining and then teasing and then building upon them further, okay? So of all those from Brazil, just a handful of years ago, right? He only spoke a few words of basic English. So all this is all easy anybody. He was forced to find and adopt a simpler copywriting method. All right, now look what's happening here. I see people try to mix up and call things different things over and over and over, stuff like that. No, you want to keep it like copywriting method. Watch to see if copywriting method appears again and again and again, because that means it's our mechanism, right? This is what gives us the benefit, the big promise, the results. He was forced to find and adopt a simpler copywriting method than the way most are taught to write copy. All right, cool. So again, most. I love this word, the way most are taught. So when you see something like the way most are taught, you're inferring and you're inferring only here. The masses got it wrong. The common folk, the layman. You've tried everything else. Well, that's because you were taught the way most people were taught. Nope, this is a secret thing nobody else has ever done before. You can't get it anywhere else. Okay. Needless to say, Evaldo discovered a method. Again, these words matter. He discovered it. He unearthed it. All right. This wasn't something he got off Amazon. Discovered a method which has become an absolute gold mine for him and AF. Today, his new copywriting method is producing the biggest winners ever. So the big promise is kind of vague on this one, but that's okay. It's not like a financial promo where we're like promising $1 million. It looks like we're promising a new way to write copy that's simple and effective, right? So what I'll do is I'll bust out my big promise gold here. And I think what's really important, I overlooked the mechanism. Here we go. There's a couple key elements you want to notice is purple and gold. The mechanism delivers the result. The mechanism delivers the result. See, now that we have the mechanism labeled, we go back with the yellow. Notice the purple, the gold, the purple and gold are always together. The copywriting is killing it. A simpler copywriting method, that's a gold mine, right? What else does his copywriting method, right? So there's the method for cranking out $1 million promos. So now you can see purple and gold, purple and gold. Secrets working like crazy. And I think it's really important too. Let's make that more of a box. I don't like that shape. So I think it's really important too that when you see how many yellow boxes I have, you realize how important your big promise is and how much you drill that into your reader's head. I read someone's copy at Copy Chief Live when they brought me that printout. There was no big promise. I was like, what are you selling me? Like, why do I want to buy? I don't even understand what I'm getting. See how many times this is drilled what you're going to get, right? Even up here. So this is a lot more vague because this is kind of going to get you coming in, but you can see like the $100 million sales is kind of your big promise in the headline there. So secrets, like look at the purple and gold here. Wow, all on the first couple pages. Do you repeat your promise this frequently in your copy? Do you make your promise that many times in the first page? Think about that. All right. So here we go. We're getting into some more credibility. Now, I think one of the cool things, if you notice up here in the top, this is only a 7-page sales letter, right? So this is going to be a highly compressed sales letter compared to the 30, 40-page ones I usually break down on Copy Squad. So I thought we would bust through this pretty quickly, 32 minutes in. Not terrible, I guess. Also, when I tell you read copy every day, that's what I'm talking about doing. So anyway, you don't have to read the whole thing sometimes. I mean, just make time. I'm talking marketing campaigns sucking in tens of thousands of dollars, new customers in mere months. All right, so what's the point of saying this? It's to trigger the big and fast emotion. Tens of millions in sales each. His method is working so well, it's captured the attention, right? So again, this whole section, big and fast gains. All right, now we have Bill Bonner, so this is safety, okay, are now publicly endorsing Evaldo's copywriting method. That's why Evaldo was promoted to copy chief of Paradigm Press, the largest imprint division within all of Agora. He's now grooming his own team of copywriters. So I don't know. It's kind of already been said a little bit. He's now grooming his own team of copywriters to follow in his millionaire footsteps. And by teaching them his copywriting method and coaching them weekly, his copy team are now already in pace to generate over 100 million in sales. Now, I want you to pay attention. What did they mention? The copywriting method, right? By teaching them the mechanism, they are able to get the result. The mechanism delivers the result. The mechanism delivers the result. The mechanism should always be lassoed by this golden lasso around the thing, the big promise, right? So there you go. It's nuts. But the really crazy part of all those developing all these new multi-million-dollar copywriters with just one 35-minute secret meeting each week. I'm trying to read them, right? That went bad. Okay, so another thing, where we're looking at this, the easy emotion is, well, do I have to spend 10 years of my life learning copy? which I'll tell you practice every day and that kind of stuff. But what we're doing here is we're kind of minimizing that commitment that you have to make, and we're just saying 1 35-minute secret meeting each week. So anybody can spare 35 minutes a week. We're not saying every day. We're not telling you to write a page, hand copy crap by your hand. We're just saying spare 35 minutes a week and you can be like a Balto. So now I want to show you something. We're going to switch to pink here because, we've essentially entered what looks like some offer copy. And I usually mark up the offer copy in pink. And in an offer section, there's generally the promo kind of shifts. It's sort of like 70% copy and 30% offer copy. And I think with this, because I think they're able to compress all the desire into just like a page that they can kind of just spend most of the time building an irresistible offer. And I'm pretty sure that Todd Brown's a big fan of irresistible offers. So that might be what he's about to set up here. I want to show you another thing that's very much part of like an offer section. Do we have more? I think we do. Hold on a second. Let me scroll ahead. My computer's losing resources here. Let's go. Come on. Let me see. Yeah. There's testimonials down here. Okay. Let's go back up here. So I think what we'll do is this would be more like a piece of proof. So you kind of have like these credibility builders here. But I kind of separate anything in the body copy as like a piece of proof or social proof instead of calling it like a testimonial, which is a testimonial. But I don't know if you guys saw this in the bar over here, but we got 2 big names endorsing it. So let's just do this. As long as we're in body copy, I'm going to stick with this label. Safe, right? If this guy's name is behind it, it's safe. Okay. All right. So I think I'll take one pause really quick to look at the comments. All right. Hey, squad. Kyle dropping bombs of knowledge again. Got to show you my breakdowns, Kyle. Yeah, man. Sure. Down with it. Send them over. Brian Tate. Dawa Badass. Every top 10 ClickBank product in the last 5 years were all modeled by John Benson VSO formula. Oh, that sounds like maybe something worth checking out. I'd be interested in. The mech of this promo has to be NSB. So the mechanism is the copywriting. The mechanism is the copywriting method. That's the mechanism. All right. With safe, are we also conveying growth? There is no growth emotion. I mean, I don't think so. I don't have a growth emotion. So like that label doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't know what that means to you might mean something different to me. So I don't kind of want to, Wesley Virgin's Fat and Minister made 50 million. Erect on Demand, Dow Badass, The Venus Factor. Every one of those offers made over 50 million. That's over 200 million, which is 4 offers from John Benson. All right. Thanks for the info, Brian. Most successful copywriter that I heard of was Gary Halbert. He made tons, but later spent it all and died broke. Rest in peace, the prudence of print. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's cool. I mean, I guess it's not cool. It sounds kind of sad. No problems, just 4 offers. I remembered off the top of my head, but he's responsible for $500 million in verifiable sales. That's a lot of money. All right. Misha, what's going on? It was great meeting you at Copy Chief Live. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and go back to no more comments. Get these out of here. You guys are distracting me to death. We're talking about John Benson. We're not talking about John Benson. We're talking about Todd Brown and Uvaldo right now. All right, let's go on here. So when you say, here's how it all goes down. So in the offer section, there's certain elements that you kind of want to convey, you need to convey is this is the part of the offer that I label what to expect. And I have been thinking about developing this section, the label for this, because I'm finding it sometimes it's not a good label, or I have to use it multiple times. And I want to figure out how to better label this. But essentially what the what to expect offers point is you can kind of get a feel for like exactly the deliverables that you may expect if you make the decision to purchase today. So you'll get something like this. Once a week, Evaldo hosts a private copywriting training. Now, I want to show you something else that a lot of people make this mistake, and it drives me up the wall. When they get into the offer section, they start explaining the deliverables. They start explaining the product. They start explaining what to expect. No, we don't explain what to expect. We sell what to expect. We sell what to expect. And how do you sell things? New, easy, safe, and big. So I'm anticipating that based on what we've seen so far in this sales letter, that we'll continue to see new, easy, safe, and big be effectively used even in the offer copy as it should be. That's like the biggest mistake that I see, and it happens at all levels. So anyway, look, can you see that word? Yeah, for his team only, okay? These sessions are like mini copywriting intensives. So instead of just saying, you'll get a call from Evaldo, they'll talk about headlines, they'll talk about funnels, he doesn't do that. He keeps selling the only emotion. He keeps pounding that over and over. These sessions are like mini copywriting intensives. They all take place in a secret, secure Zoom meeting, all right? Hopefully all our Zoom meetings are secure, but again, he's just hammering only, with only his team allowed in there, each lasting no more than 35 minutes. Look, he doesn't turn it off here because he's in the offer section. Here is a little demo. So this plays into the what to expect, because now you have a visual of what to expect. For our newsletter promotions, we'll show like a mock email or an old email. So you'll see the header, you'll know what it looks like. You'll see a headline, you'll see information on a page. You know that you're getting a newsletter. You'll be getting a report that explains some sort of investment opportunity, right? So that's what this is. It's a little visual demonstration. On these sessions, Evaldo completely rips back the curtain on how multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns are being engineered. Okay, so here's going to be some bullets. Here it is: headlines, big ideas, leads, proof points, offers, calls to action, upsells, downsells, everything. Okay, so bam, knocks that out. Explains positioning, psychological triggers being used, emotions being prodded, why the copy was written the way it was, stealth objection covering, and more. Okay, so I love these little words right here at the end. Sometimes he even talks about overcoming writer's block, how to relead campaigns which stop working, and when different bonuses should and shouldn't be used. Okay, so this is just this is like when he's got to like kind of just explain what's on it. I really like this format of doing it as a bonus, or not bonus, a bullet that kind of just rips through those points. And let's see, like I said, these sessions are like mini copywriting intensives, all under 35 minutes. So he brings it back full circle where he has to you have to know what you're going to get, right? So he's got to explain these things, but at the same time, whenever you group that information together and you give them like an information block where you're explaining, he doesn't give too much. He kind of keeps it vague enough that you're interested and intrigued, but then he packages it like a sandwich where he puts that easy again. Like I said, so when we do a financial promotion and I have to have my guru explain what we're selling, like I have to, okay, it's an option strategy. How do we do that? Well, we have him explain his very secret algorithm in kind of technical terms. Oren Klaff calls this a flash roll, okay? And it's a very short blurb of technical jargon and explanation. And then at the end of that, what do? I do basically what was at the bottom of this. I say, look, there won't be a test on this. All you need to know is you're going to get a lot for a little. You're going to get something big for nothing. Look, I know this sounds very complicated, but just remember, all you got to do is click the button and get paid, right? You have to circle it back. You bring it back full circle and say, look, there's all this stuff, but hey, it's very simple, very easy. Don't feel overwhelmed or confused. And we got the same thing happening right here, okay? And taking place and recorded every week. How to be a fly on the wall and hear every copywriting gem Evaldo shares. Okay, so this is kind of like your how to. I want to get back in the white zone here. How to get started. Okay, so this is a better way to say how to get started, because in the offer section you kind of got to be like, well, how do you get in? how can you take advantage of this thing? And what I love about this line is instead of just saying, here's how to get started today, he changed it. He kind of transmuted that into something more relatable or awesome sounding, or something that's more cohesive with the message he's trying to deliver, that you're getting in on a super secret private thing. Okay. He's done a great job of keeping that theme running throughout. Okay. Even though I say that we're only on page 3 of 7, but still super secret thing, you're getting access, right? What does he say next? These secret meetings only, and the recordings are not open to the public. So only. They are not for sale anywhere. Nor can you buy your way in. So again, this is all exclusivity. But due to my special consulting relationship with Agora Financial, I was able to negotiate a limited number of access tickets I can offer to my clients. Okay, so this, I paused halfway through this sentence because I recognized a couple things that were happening. This is one of those, so the objections we're kind of getting around here, if they exist, most marketers reading marketing copy know that they're being sold, but this kind of subtly gives you like one of those, like, why are you telling me, or how is this possible? For me, I have a special label for this. It goes hand in hand with the mechanism. I call it the catalyst. And now let me give you like a little breakdown of how I see these things going. Okay, so you've got a problem. You've got a catalyst. You've got a mechanism. You've got a... Can I write out here? Okay, cool. All right, so this is the flow. And this is probably, like, if I write book number 2, these are some major beats of the sales letter, okay? You have a problem. You want to be better at copy. You suck. Okay, there's a catalyst. Something happened. Some sort of secret meeting occurred and someone slid you a napkin with the formula. The formula is the mechanism. Okay, so the catalyst opened the door. Some sort of meeting, some sort of relationship, something happened that opened the door. The mechanism was the secret itself. And the mechanism delivers the solution or the big promise. Okay, this is the flow of a sales letter. So if I wrote this sales letter, I might have started with the catalyst earlier on before introducing the mechanism. I'm not sure. Maybe I would say, look, I was at a secret Agora event and I met this guy, Evaldo, and he let me in on one of his copy calls, and I had this giant epiphany. I was like, the whole world needs to see this. This is incredible. It could change people's lives. That's your catalyst, okay? I begged and begged, and I said, look, man, what if we just do this or that, and until I finally broke him down, and he'll finally allow me to share just his 35-minute calls, more valuable than most copywriting intensives, to a certain limited number of my readers, right? So there you go. That's how the kind of the flow goes in my brain. This one's a little bit different, but again, the elements are still existing. You maybe rearrange and move them around. It's cool to see that. So, all right. So he was able to negotiate. All right, we're going to use a limited number. Okay, so we got some scarcity. Also, you need to understand the difference between scarcity and urgency. Urgency is time. Scarcity is quantity. So a limited number is scarcity. I wouldn't confuse it with urgency. That's right. With this pass, you get access to the unedited raw recordings every week of Evaldo's private copywriting meetings. Okay, so I love this. This is great. He's basically, I don't know how to label this with one of my current labels. It's basically like he's given an image. He's created a physical, again, a mechanism to get access to the offer. So I think that's cool. Instead of just saying what the pass, you could say with these $49, you can get access to unedited, blah, blah, blah. No, I like this. So this is a really cool, like if I take away something like a couple takeaways you can get from this, I'd take away something like this, where instead of just saying, like this offer is really well crafted, instead of saying, here's how you get started today, give me $49. Nah, he's got a pass for a limited number of people to get in today. Okay, so this is kind of like justifying your scarcity. All right, so weekly access, private copy call, and then down there, way down, little print, the highest paid copywriter in Agora history. With this pass, you'll hear every golden copywriting nugget Evaldo teaches his team each week. It's priceless. Okay. I kind of hesitate to label this a price anchor, but they are starting to talk about price a little bit and the value of things. All right. You'll hear everything he's teaching his copywriters to produce 100 million in sales. Okay. So, and recognize you'll be one of only a handful of non-Agora insiders to ever hear these new copywriting. Okay, cool. So he tells you what you're going to get. And in there, he's building in scarcity, but he keeps coming back to new and only. Okay, it keeps coming back. Like if he gives you information, he packages it in a sandwich format of new only. All right. Fact is, the impact this can have on your business is astronomical. Let me be clear, this is not an opportunity to learn basic copywriting tactics or rehash stuff everyone is sharing, right? This is not that. Again, signaling only, right? So instead of just saying it's only, I love this. He said it so many times. Now he says it's not the normal stuff. So we kind of went the opposite direction. Negative only. No, this is your chance to learn secret copywriting hacks, tricks, and techniques of the highest paid copywriter in the history of the largest direct response company on the planet. All right. So again, secret information, secret knowledge, totally unprecedented. All these words signal only and new. So what's the fee for this all access pass? There's your first price anchor. Bringing it down to $6,000 at 6,000. I believe this would be a friggin' bargain. And if you don't already see that, then this is not for you. There's a little qualify. I wonder if he does any other qualifying. In that case, you're not ready for the copywriting methods being shared on these private meetings. And I would ask you to pass this opportunity. I only have a limited number of passes to share. This is takeaway here. So again, we're reminding them scarce spots are limited. We're reminding them you're not ready for these private meetings. This is only there's the copywriting methods. There's your mechanism. This is for savvy entrepreneurs and marketers who recognize what you'll hear of all those sharing every week on these private meetings obviously can make you a fortune, very wealthy, very quickly. Okay, so again, this one doesn't have as concrete a big promise as I'm used to working with, but the sentiment is always the same. The private meetings, the copywriting methodology. See, now it's kind of shifting. It's kind of cool. It's kind of got a bit of a fluidity to it, doesn't it, huh? That's not opinion, it's fact. And again, private meetings only. Eval has already done it for himself and doing it for a team of copywriters. Okay, and again, the more copy you break down, the more you'll recognize this. Like, I don't really have to think about it. Like, when you see these words, it's already been done. It's already happening. We've seen it before. This is history repeating itself. All those words are safe and predictable because you're establishing, yes, this is repeatable. So results may vary, but not really. You're all going to make $1 million. That's exactly what we're saying here. All right. And that's why I'm blown away that somehow, some way, I was able to negotiate just $49 a month each for these all access passes. I love that all access pass thing. That's cool, man. All right. So you got your true price here. And again, something else, that I never really think about until I see it outside of financial publishing is when you're doing your price reveal, you make it seem like you made the effort to make it that cheap. Okay. Did he say negotiate? Yes. Okay. I negotiated this for you. So, I think that's something that I see all the time in financial, and then I never really think about it until just now when I saw it here. Like, I went to bat for you, even though, normally we price it you know, or whoever's selling it priced it, they always say, I asked my publisher for as steep as discount as I could possibly get, right? Frankly, I'm stunned. Okay, so when I see frankly, I'm stunned, I want to pause here. I'm gonna come back to this, you know. I want to talk about subheads in a second here. I got some comments. Let's read them really quick. All right. Brent, what program and stylus do you use to mark up copy? I have the Surface Book 2 with the Surface Book pen, and the program is it's Microsoft Edge. I don't use Microsoft Edge for anything except marking up PDFs, right? So this is a PDF thing. I just remind me I need to keep this as a different file so I don't overwrite what I got. Okay, cool. So that's the answer to that question. Can you provide a link to the sales letter? Thanks. I think I closed it. Hold on, let me see if I got it over here. There it is. Okay. I don't know. Like, I kind of feel bad, but because this has probably a Facebook clicker thingy, you know, like a pixel and all that stuff attached to it. They're gonna think, wow, nobody's buying this. They just keep clicking for some reason, and I'll be that reason. What if I do this? What if I give you the PDFs so that you don't mess up his pixel and all that stuff, right? So what if I put like a shared drive link to the PDF that is blank and the PDF that I marked up, and then that way you can do with it whatever you want without having to impact his metrics. Because that's bread and butter for marketers. The metrics are so important. So we don't want to take food out of his mouth. If anything, I bet I'll get him some customers off of breaking this sales letter down. Let's get back to where we were. Okay, so I'll do that. Look for that when this is all done. I'll put it in the description. Strategic, you should get on Todd's list. When they have a promo that bombs, they kill the promo quick. The winners, they pound to death and recycle or repackage a few weeks later. Yeah, exactly. That was one of the questions someone asked earlier. Like, how do you find good sales letters? They find me. I just get hit over and over on Facebook ads. Like, they're in my email inbox. Like, I don't find, like, I can't avoid them. Marketers are sending you stuff constantly. Just click it. Like, that's how you find it. All right, cool. Oh, strategic, someone's name. Strategic, you should get on Todd's list. Oh, see, I'm slow. I bet I got it. Yeah, I'm on Todd's list. Okay, cool. These conversations in the sidelines are confusing me. They roll out new offers via targeted audience, first on Facebook and IG. Okay, cool. Avaldo talked about this sales objection on one of the recent calls. He discussed the difference of presenting something as something a guru created versus something a guru discovered. Well, oh, here it is. The discovery lowers the sales objections. That makes sense. I think so. That would intuitively, that seems to make sense. Did you come up with NSBE or something you learned about others? That is something I discovered myself. Nobody taught me NSBE. I discovered it. If you look at the YouTube channel, my very first couple of videos, you'll start to see me kind of figure out. I think at one point there were 7 or 8 big emotions, and that's when I realized like new actually goes with only, and I started to couple them up into NSBE when I realized like the overarching theme is new, easy, safe, and big. Edge is really cool that way. Started using my Wacom with it after seeing you doing that. Yeah, Microsoft Edge. That's the PDF and the pen are great. If you think this is rad, you should see the Copy Squad library. Yeah, all my sales letter breakdowns are in there, and our Copy Squad conference calls. So every Tuesday, one Tuesday, we're going over the members. So Copy Squad conference calls in that fudge. It's in that corner up there, or Copy Squad inner circle. That logo has got to be so terrible and small and unlookable because I'm using StreamYard now. My logo is small, but it's Copy Squad is KyleTheWriter.com/squad, and we'll go over on Tuesday like user submissions. All right. And the next Tuesday, we'll break down something like $1 million sales letter. And I think what's really important about that is, first off, I get to help other people. And for me, let me tell you selfishly what it means for me is I'm seeing the gaps constantly. I'm always seeing like what a user presents and then what a pro does. When I say a user, like a Copy Squad member who's kind of like new to it. And I can see like, wow, this is what you're missing, because we just went over a letter last Tuesday that made, $10 million. And I can see that you don't have any of these elements. So whenever you see the gaps, it becomes so much easier to spot them, to clarify, to point them out, than to just read like one promo over and over, or even just a set of good promos. Because sometimes you take for granted things that you don't even recognize. Like, for instance, this note right here. When I took that for granted. I negotiated this price for you. I busted my butt or asked for a favor. And that's in all the financial promos we go over. But it wasn't until I just like kind of saw it stick out here a little bit. I was like, that's what we would say at Agora, or I actually work at Wealth Press now, but that's what we would say in financial. So I think that was, you got to look at different things. I think going back and forth between the pros and folks who are trying to get their start, and even people in the middle tiers who are in the Copy Squad, for me selfishly, that makes it easier to understand what's actually happening. When you see the absence of it, you just know there's a gaping hole there, and you got to figure out what piece of the puzzle is missing, right? And that's really important. Okay. Dan says, wouldn't a VSL perform better? Like a Todd Brown, for this Todd Brown letter? I suppose, perhaps. That had to be tested, Dan Carroll. That's what I was going to say. Michael, I'm newer to copywriting, under a year, but I'm far ahead of the game because of the squad. Thanks, man. I appreciate that testimonial and your support, my friend. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to close these out. We've made it all the way to page 4 of 7, and I wanted to talk about this subhead. Getting rid of comments for now. I'll circle back to you guys in a little bit. Oh, yeah, smash like and stuff if you're liking this, and also kylethewriter.com/squad if you want to join the Copy Squad membership, and kylethewriter.com/book if you want to, what was the other thing? Oh, for my book, yeah. Also, I'm making a note here, add PDFs, link to Google Drive. How about that? So after this is done, I need to do that. I hope that's helpful for you. And smash like and share with friends and stuff. Okay, frankly, I'm stunned. Okay, so I'm looking at this subhead. One of the things we talked about in the squad this week too is the use of subheads. And I haven't really paid much attention to it. I'm kind of just looking at them now and scrolling through. Secrets working like crazy. Producing biggest winners ever. Just one 35-minute secret meeting each week. How they're engineered, how to be a fly on the wall. Okay. What's the fee? Stunned. New tools. Okay. So I think one of the things I'm trying to look for here is, can I basically be a skimmer and understand what I'm being sold by just skimming through the subheads? I think that's something, you go back later after you've written up your stuff, and you can tweak your subheads to be one of those sort of like constantly flowing. You understand like what the whole message is without having to read every single word of the letter. You're selling to two types of people. You're selling to impulse buyers, the emotional triggers will get that going, but you're also selling to analytical people. I used to do phone sales, and I had a call with like my performance manager, or not call, meeting or whatever. He said, Kyle, I can see you're getting frustrated. The people who are highly analytical and wouldn't just buy on emotion would frustrate me when I was on phone sales. And he's like, some of these people are going to ask you 1 zillion questions. And if you just answer them and just get through the call, they're going to buy. They just want to make sure that you have answers to these questions. And there's going to be a handful of readers like that who want to see that their questions are answered in this sales letter. That's what the smaller print's for. But for those guys who are like, I just want to be a Agora insider and be the best at copy, they're going to scroll, they're going to see these subheads and be like, that's it, that's what I wanted, I'm going to buy it. So you got to be able to sell to both those people. All right. So frankly, I'm stunned. So the reason I marked this, I was kind of like, what's the value of this subhead was the first thing I thought. Like, maybe it's a stopper. Maybe this is one, if you're scrolling really quickly, this would cause you to pause for a moment and say, oh, what are you stunned about? So it made me aware that I was reading a subhead when I saw that there was no like sort of informational or valuable information in this, right? I still can't believe I was able to get the price so low for you. I expected them to tell me $197 a month or even $97, And likely at some point before we sell out, they'll ask me to raise that. But for now, you can get in only $49 a month. Oh, I have a critique. I hate going over here into this no man's land. All right, I'm going to say this is backwards. Okay, that's my opinion. My opinion is all of this should go right here. It should go. Evaldo's done it for himself. Now he's doing it for a team of copywriters. And frankly, I'm stunned. How would I do this? All right. Evaldo's making a bunch of fortunes. He's already doing it, right? And frankly, I'm stunned. I asked them to please allow me to share this with a limited number of my readers. And the price I was able to get for you absolutely blew me away. I expected them to tell me $197 a month. Frankly, even that would be a steal. I was ready to settle for that. Or even 97, I thought, but when I asked for 97, I was absolutely floored. No way they would let me have this access for $97. But I'll tell you something that truly, truly just wowed me, and my heart fell all the way out my beehole. And that was whenever they said, you know what? We're going to do it for a limited number of people we'll allow you to do it for $49 a month. So instead of just going straight to the true price, like you have an opportunity here to do price cuts. So this would have been a missed op at price cuts. You could have done that. Okay. But now you're in only $49 a month because now this has no value or wow factor like it did if you'd put it up here. Or I would say it's diminished. I would say it's diminished because I already know what it is. So the 197 and 97 don't carry as much weight as they could have. It'll remain that low for you for however long you want to keep getting these recordings. And that's not all. Here comes bonuses. When you claim, it literally says bonus. So free bonus 1. Now I'm kind of back and forth on the fence about the bonus. But I saw a promo by MoneyMat where they didn't call bonuses bonuses. They kind of just told you this awesome, cool thing you're going to get as part of the package. And it felt a lot more, I want to say almost cohesive. Like I didn't feel like I knew I was being sold, but I go back and forth. This works. I just like seeing something new as a guy who reviews like a jillion sales letters. It was just cool to see it done differently. So I feel like with the way he was able to mechanize the free pass, instead of just saying pay $49, he called it a free pass for $49 or whatever it was. The way he was able to turn that into a cool visual mechanism, I thought if he keeps that up, this will just be this sales letter be truly unique and crazy. But win some, lose some, or like some, doesn't have to be completely revolutionary every line of copy, right? So this is boilerplate. This works. So this is their front end for Evaldo's funnel. So Evaldo's funnel looks like Daily Insider Secrets is your free e-letter. Then you've got the book is the front end, and now you have a monthly membership service here, $49 a month. That'd be the back end. So that's an overview of the funnel itself. So free bonus 1 is the front end. Already considered the greatest copywriting guide ever. Inside this book, you'll learn a simple secret behind his copywriting method, producing multi-million-dollar promos. Okay, cool. So we got that here. Simple secret. And then again, that's what we want. We want the secret. Shoot darn it. Copywriting method is what I wanted to. Okay. This is so good. After reading it in one sitting, I made it mandatory for everyone on my team to read it. And I'm not the only one saying this little book is a copywriting game changer. So here's testimonials. These are big names in the industry, which is good. They're not like just readers. They're testimonials from authorities. So I think that's really useful too. All right. This is when I scribbled it earlier. So we're going to do and Oren Klaff has become an authority, I would almost say, in our space, much due to Joe Schriefer, Agora, and maybe even Evaldo. Like I didn't know who he was until Agora started telling me, you got to read Oren Klaff, right? So, okay, so they're selling the book. I think that's really important too. We mentioned this earlier. When you get in the offer, you still are selling, okay? Don't just switch to telling us what this book is or, what it's about. Like still sell the book. So, sell the bonus. what you do. You don't just tell them what it is. Okay, I'm not the only one saying it. Here's a bunch of people who said it was great. All right. Free today when you claim access. Bonus 2. 2 simple steps to generate big ideas. Of all those 30-minute solutions for unearthing wildly captivating hooks, copy angles, and big marketing ideas, which sell your products or services like wildfire. Right there. All right. So you've kind of got something for nothing, right? Easy. Sell services like wildfire. Okay. So you got big. Cool. And also within here, the selling of this is a mechanism delivering a big promise for the bonus, right? So the bonus, when you sell it, what is your promise of the bonus, right? So notice that we got this bonus. It gives you a simple secret, give you multi-million-dollar promotions. Here's a 30-minute solution to sell your products like wildfire, right? So boom, they're selling it. There's a promise right there. One of the very first things I teach my copywriters to do, says Evaldo, surefire way for anyone to find the next multi-million-dollar campaign hook. Bonus 3, 7 days a week in your inbox. You'll also find a new copywriting gem waiting for you. This is Daily Insider Secrets. So bonus 3 is the free e-letter. Cool. You'll want to devour these email briefs as I do. You'll get your first issue of Daily Insider Secrets tomorrow when you claim. Okay. So something we're going to talk about now. Like I do. Okay. All right. I'm just looking at this. All right. Okay. All right, so notice that for each of these, he's still using new, easy, safe, and big, right? So the testimonials here is all your credibility. Like he's not veering off of this, right? So all these testimonials are safety, you know. After he tells you like a big promise, he backs it up with what we call proof, but mostly it's in the element of testimonials, some sort of safety credibility aspect. Of all those already been established as a sales letter writing machine who's made tens of millions of dollars. And at this point, he can be his own testimonial, right? Like he's his own area of safety. So again, notice that when you come back up, look at the pattern in selling each of these bonuses. It's the same. Makes a promise. He says it's so great. Here's some people that agree with me. Here's a promise. Here's a person that says it's really important. Here's a promise. Even I read these, right? He doesn't skip the part where he says, no, like this is a smart and safe thing to do. You get your first access, blah, blah, blah. Plus you get instant access to archives put together, blah, blah, blah. Here's 5 things. These are just bullets, right? I can talk about bullets. Yeah. These are just subject lines from the letters. So, but yeah, bullets, cool. Bullets, they stack value, okay? You can cram a lot of value into a short time with bullets. And this copy wasn't difficult to write, so might as well. Blah, blah, blah. But I must warn you, if you don't act on this now, there's urgency. There's a strong chance you'll miss out. I believe that all access passes will be gone. Scarcity. If you see enormous value in this offer, jump on it now. Okay, so we know we're at the close. If you have any hesitation, please skip it. Oh man, if you have any questions, F off. If you have any hesitation, skip it. It means you're just not ready for this. Hard qualify, man. Okay. All right, qualify. Everything you get. Okay, this is called the recap. So many colors on. Here we go. Okay, this is another thing I would talk about. Not to overstep my bounds, but I would have done the price completely different. We talked about it earlier. So we got the recap down here. Let me see what they do inside the recap. Yeah. Okay, let me show you something. We got the value. Value. Priceless. Value. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is where you should begin talking price. Okay, so let me show you how I would have structured this. And I'll mark this with tick marks so that you can kind of follow the flow. Where did I say it was backwards? Okay. Where was the first price anchor? Okay, so there's your anchor. Here's what you'd do. At $6,000, I believe this would be a bargain. What was the value? Not even valued at $6,000. All right. Here's probably what I would have done. I think anchoring the price there is probably fine, but I feel like it's going to be something you want to make that okay, here's what I would do. Maybe anchor the price, but make sure that your value stacks up to that much or more. Okay, so that I would have done your bonuses next with all your testimonials and your proof, right? So you get all that stuff. And then I would do this next. And then the stuff that I said was backwards, I would have dropped that. So what you could do here is you get down here, you say everything you get. This is all the stuff that we just went over. Wow, a total value of $6,000. So look, what's the gap? 3,837 minus 6,000. Okay. This becomes worth $2,500. It's just a two-step report. So you figure out some way to explode that value somehow, right? Where we got daily insider. Okay. Jeez. Oh, yeah. So essentially, maybe stack that up a little bit more. So underneath this, because we're signing off here. So underneath this, you say, okay, total value of 3,000, right? We say, wow. Let's say it's total value of. We could do this. All right, here, check it out. You go to 4 here. You go to 4 here. I would change this to 4 because now it makes sense. You can justify that 6. Okay, and all you got to do to go to 4 here is what? $250 or something like that. So 3,837 minus 4,000, 163. Perfect, right? So now if we did 3,837 and we just said the other thing is $200, right? The bonus is worth $200. Now you've got a value that makes sense with your earlier price anchor and is actually a little bit higher at $37 more. So now what you can do is you can bring up the price anchor. You go, like I said, I could charge $4,000 for this easily. It's obviously worth more, but I was able to get an incredible deal for you, right? So the next thing you would do would be that whole thing about, yeah. So we would do the anchor, we would give us the bonuses, right? And then we would come down here, we'd do the recap of all that stuff, the true value of it. And I say, yeah, so obviously I could simply charge 4,000 for this. It's obviously worth more than that. And then we drop that letter D at the end there. You drop the D. You go, but I expected them to tell me $197 per month. That would make total sense, but maybe even $97 per month. So when I asked for 97 and they said yes, I was floored. So now you have an opportunity to cut the price again. So you can say, yeah, at $97, I was totally satisfied and I knew it was a steal, but I knew fortune favors the bold. I knew you don't receive unless you ask. So I said, guys, could we please, for a limited number of people, do $49 a month? And I was frankly, I was stunned. They said, yes, you can now have it for $49 a month. Then, so essentially the recap, I just would have moved it up higher. Then I would have put the close here, this hardcore urgency scarcity close, I'd have put that beneath there. Okay, that's how I would have done it. I say, just click the button below and you can get started. That's just me, again. So that's just another way to do it if you want to. Enjoy, Todd Brown. P.S. Okay, let's talk about the function of the PS, and then we'll be out of here. Every week you get a new recording of all those internal private copy meetings. Okay, what's really important here is he goes back to that. He doesn't leave the theme here. This is your chance to hear what the highest paid copywriter in Agora tells his company produces 100 million in sales. Okay, so kind of like you'll be one of the only handful of non-Agora insiders to ever hear these new copywriting tactics. You know, it's hard to even put a value on what this will be worth to your business. You need to act now if you don't want to miss out. Okay, the purpose of a PS is not to, like, some people I'll see stack new things that didn't get mentioned in the sales letter. In my opinion, the purpose of the PS is to go ahead and grab those skimmers, the people who are just cruising through the subheads, and summarize your offer beneath the button, so they can say, oh yeah, I'm down with that, and they click the button. Not to start adding new stuff and answering new objections. I saw that too. Don't do that. Well, you can do it. Sure, it's your life. You know, you only YOLO once. Buddha told me that. I heard that from a wise person. Actually, I heard that at Copy Chief Live. But anyway, so you can do whatever you want, but that's how I've seen it done and how it's been effective in my experience. So also kind of here, again, a little bit of a vaguer big promise than I'm used to seeing. Kind of been fluid. It kind of has changed a little bit, but this is what he tells his copy team is kind of his mechanism, the copywriting methodology, but maybe without some context, it wouldn't function well in the PS. So that's it. All right, that's it. It's the whole letter. What do you guys got? How long is the limit for the pain to success story? My story leading to realization discovered. It's getting very long, but very emotional and nice. Is it okay? Thoughts? If you're telling me that, okay, generally, it's too long. Just cut it. It needs to be like I know, like, you know, we talk about selling on emotion and stuff, but no one cares about your story. Like, they just want to know that it was a secret. That's what a discovery story is about. It's a secret, right? It's a secret discovery. It's like the catalyst. Like, that's why you can do it now, right? It totally changed the game for you in your whole life. That's all they care about too, right? And you went from, like, that's the point of the rags to riches. It doesn't relate to you that much. It's to see that, oh, if he can, it's the easy anybody story is what a rags to riches story is. It's like, yeah, I had nothing. I discovered the mechanism. I obtained the solution through the mechanism. That's all they want to see. Your entire story, I don't care. You got 5 pages. If you gave it to me, it would come back to you in 4 lines. That's how we would do it. If you're having those thoughts, I think it's probably too long. All right, side conversation. The VSL might convert better, but it wouldn't be congruent with the offer. If all those teaching long form copies, they need to use it. So these are VSL to sell, it wouldn't make sense. That's a statement that sounds like you're making it like it's a fact. Not really. If Todd Brown sat down and read this to you, I think it would work just fine. I don't know. Was Evaldo your mentor at Agora? Yeah, Evaldo was my first copy chief. I also work with Ryan McGrath and Aaron Winters, who is, I believe, the copy chief at Dig In. I'm not sure if that's his official title, but I'm pretty sure he's the copy chief at Dig In. He worked with Agora last year, so I worked with all those guys. What niche does this offer? Financial copy or personal development or course? I mean, it's for people who want to learn how to write copy. I guess copywriting niche. Is this breakdown going to be exclusively in the Copy Squad or be available in the public YouTube swipe file? No, this is on YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. Where'd you ask me that question? Yeah, okay. So I'll put the PDF, the marked up PDF. Let me save it. I'll put the marked up PDF in a Drive folder. Oh, I have a YouTube swipe file for everybody in the public. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put this in there, right? I haven't added to it in so long because I stopped doing them for the public. Yeah, I'll add it there. I'll just do that. You guys have access to my swipe file. KyleTheWriter.com/swipe. That was my lead magnet when I first started the YouTube channel. I think that's how I got people to watch my YouTube. I'm not sure, but yeah, go to KyleTheWriter.com/swipe and you can get, let me post some comments, all right? So for anyone who's interested in, free stuff or whatever, so, well, free and paid stuff. So KyleTheWriter.com/squad is the Copy Squad member ship. So if you're interested in that, I'm putting that in the chat, bam. And if you're interested in my book, Take Their Money, you know, and that's a copywriting guide, basically explaining how to structure your sales letter and use new, easy, safe, and big. That's at kyledee.com/book. Should I be using the HTTP thing at the top, or are these clickable? I'm gonna put that in. Okay, so that's the book. And if you want my free swipe file, you can sign up to the email list. I've got to start emailing you guys again. Kyle. Well, you can see too, like if you look, kylethewriter.com/swipe. If you look at this breakdown, how long it takes, an hour and 25 minutes to go over 7 pages, right? So error occurred, wait a moment, then try again. All right. So Facebook didn't get the link, kylethewriter.com/swipe. Yeah, but so we did 7 pages. It took me an hour and 25 minutes. This is why I don't do it for free. It's just, it's not even 6 pages, right? So it's very time intensive. I have to set up a camera. I have to get a stream. I have to be in a quiet place. He says HTTP is clickable, not the other one. Well, you got to copy and paste then. Or just type it, because I've made it so short that that's the whole point of the short link or the short US URL, is that you can just type squad and you can figure it out. Anyway, but yeah, so this takes so much time and energy that I've decided to start charging for it. I could break this down on an airplane, you know, over a, I don't know, 45 minute flight or something like that, when I'm not sitting here explaining every single word that runs through my brain. So that's why I basically charge for this now, because I could get so much more writing and reading done if I didn't have to explain everything I was thinking. So to encourage myself to do it and to make money for my time, I charge in the Copy Squad Inner Circle for these breakdowns. Kyle, you laughed, but you laughed. But at the beginning, I truly did not know he was selling copywriting. He was making it a secret at first. Nah, I mean, right out the gate, and probably talks about it in the this Facebook ad. But we're looking at the highest paid copywriter tells his copy team to produce 100 million in sales. He's selling copywriting secrets. Is the sales pitch here? But yeah. All right, cool. So I will hang out for a moment, and I will take any additional questions or anything like that if you guys have them. I'll check my YouTube really quick, because it has like a lag where because I'm using StreamYard, so I can stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And sometimes there's like a lag. Comments take like 10 minutes to get to me. So I can stream on Facebook. Okay. Okay, so YouTube's up to date. Check out Facebook. I think I'm on Copywriter Kyle. All right. Thanks for all your help. The book is so helpful. Patel says, that's why I appreciate when you do things like this, because I understand its value. Thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate it and understand that. Thanks for all your help. The book is helpful. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you too. All right. How do I find my Facebook video? Something went wrong. We're having trouble playing this video. All right, cool. All right, Copy Squad, that's going to do it. I don't see any other comments or questions coming in. I really appreciate you guys checking out all the stuff. You can get my book, kylethewriter.com/book. You can join the Copy Squad, kylethewriter.com/squad. Love to have you. I've said this like in a million videos. I've been talking about raising the price at Copy Chief Live. Someone kind of explained to me a good way I could raise the price for Copy Squad. I'm thinking about making it a yearly subscription. You just pay like a one-time fee. I don't know. Right now it's what, $59 a month. So with 59 by 12. So I'm thinking about making like an $800 or $900 yearly fee, and no trials, none of that junk. I have 200 YouTube videos. That's your trial. So that, or maybe I'll give away like one months of content for free, because that's the thing. Like every month I add a new pile of content, and I just keep adding content. People can keep getting it for the same price. Doesn't make any sense. So I think what I'll do is I might go like $800 for a yearly fee. What do you guys think of that? Hey, while we're here hanging out, I got a question for you. Question and a request. Dude, I do have like 200 videos on my YouTube, and it's kind of all over the place. So if someone who has watched for a while or just loves watching them right now could figure out a smart way to group all this content into like maybe 5 playlists or something like that for the YouTube channel, because it's gotten to a point now where like I'll meet somebody and they'll ask me like, I'm interested in this topic and I don't know where to tell them on my YouTube to go. It's like, I don't know, just watch my YouTubes. I cover that somewhere. If I had a playlist for like specific topics and you guys, one of you wanted to help me out with that, that would be awesome. Like, what's a smart way to group all this content? All right. If you cancel the pass after month, I didn't see anywhere that you keep the premiums. It's a good point. There's no guarantee on this either, is there? I don't think I saw that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get to keep the premiums, I guess. How would they be able to take them back? It's all digital. You're talking about this leaked sales letter, right? Joey, credible value breakdown as usual. Would love to see you doing more non-financial breakdowns. Maybe if you join the copy squad, I'll do one for you. Our current squad members grandfathered into the monthly price. Of course. Yeah, for sure. Michael, I'll help, dude. Thank you. Yeah, that would be awesome. Fantastic. And it's, again, like for me, it doesn't make a ton of difference, like, but I know for the user experience, it would be a lot more helpful if they had to comb through 200 YouTube videos, because so many is crazy. And that's it. I'm going to count to like 10. I'm signing off for reals this time. I'm going to go in my full face video. All right, squad. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you found this breakdown helpful. All the links are in the comments and stuff like that. I'll upload the PDFs to the drive so you can get it for free in my swipe file. And that'll do it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, Copy Squad.